morning. We're here with Wendy Terry. Good morning, Wendy. How are you?
I'm great, Wendy. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, thank you for joining us. I was telling you beforehand, I love the pink. You look so spring-like, so love it. It looks great. So, Wendy, just wanted to give you a few minutes to sort of introduce yourself to folks who may be listening today. Tell a little bit about you personally. We're going to obviously get into the professional stuff, but tell us a little bit about Wendy Terry, the person.
Well, Wendy Terry, the person, is a mom. I have 3 children. She is a lawyer. I've been practicing for more than 20 years now, which is kind of scary. It sneaks up on a girl. I've done both sides of the fence. I've been a prosecutor and defense attorney. I have a wonderful husband who's a judge. Obviously, I cannot appear in front of him. Let's see. Like I said, I have a wonderful group of women that I work with, and just happy to be alive on this beautiful spring day.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. Tell us a little bit about you're originally from, or you've lived in Davie County for a long time.
I grew up here. My parents moved here in the 2nd grade, and I class of 89 at the high school. And so I'm original, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
There's no better place in the world to live than Davie County. And I drug my husband back here, and the rest is history. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of Davie County chicks can say they've done that. So.
Well, you know, if you're not lucky enough to find a Davie guy, you import a great guy, and you just hopefully you try to live the Davie County dream happily ever after.
That's right, absolutely. Mine, he is from Davie County, so he was pretty willing to move back home after we got out of school. So, but yeah, I think a lot of folks don't mind calling Davie home. So, well, let's go ahead and move into some of the questions a little bit more about the business. Tell us what the law firm is about. You know, tell us the name, which obviously is different, and tell us what you provide your clients.
Well, some really fun news there. Since January 1st, we have been Penry, Terry, and Mitchell LLP.
Okay.
Partnership with 2 amazing women from Davidson County, Pllc Penry and Dawn Mitchell. Dawn is the managing attorney of our office in Lexington, and she does a lot of domestic work.
Mm-hmm.
Do domestic and criminal. We have a wonderful young associate named Victoria Prince. She also does domestic and criminal. For those of you who don't know a lot about legal things, domestic is family law.
Okay.
Custody, support, emancipations, just anything and everything that would have to do with the family.
Okay.
Report. We also do criminal law, which is defense work.
Okay.
We work on 50Bs and 50C cases.
And now, what are those? Explain that to us, because that would not be something I would know.
And that's going to be a little bit I'm going to talk about.
Okay. Okay.
Going on the court system right now. A 50B is a domestic violence protective order.
Okay.
And unfortunately, right now, we're seeing a spike in domestic violence.
I bet.
People are kind of in a pressure cooker.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a shelter in place together at their homes. And that's kind of, and with people being out of work, of course, financial concerns are one of the big stressors on relationships and families. And so we're seeing a rise in domestic violence pleadings. And those are one of the few things that the courts are still hearing right now.
Right. Okay. So, so that is domestic and criminal. So are those the 2 main?
Those are our 2 main areas of practice.
Okay.
We can do other things. We do some small civil matters, that sort of thing. But in a small town, we're lucky to have other wonderful lawyers around that we can refer people to other areas
Right.
that are kind of outside the bounds of what we do.
Okay. That's great. Okay. As far as your locations, you're obviously on Main Street in Moxville, but now with the merger or the new partners. So you have a presence in Davidson now?
We do. We have a really great office there. We are on East Center Street. We're at
Okay.
15 East Center Street in Lexington.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that Davie and Davidson are the same jurisdiction. We're the
Okay.
same judicial district. I'm very fortunate right now to be the president of our judicial district bar.
Okay.
So we share all the same judges for Davie and Davidson. So we're always with them when we elect judicial officials.
Right.
Same prosecutorial district. We have the same district attorneys for both counties. So it just makes sense for us to have a presence in both, since it's all the folks in that practice anyway.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Okay, well, let's move on to another question that I sent you. What are some things that the firm is doing differently during the COVID-19 pandemic? Especially now that people are having to stay at home. So how are you all responding?
That's a really great question, Wendy. First of all, people may not realize that we don't have court except on an extraordinarily limited basis between now and June 1st.
Okay.
Our Chief Justice, Justice Beasley, issued an order. I think she and the governor have been working in conjunction, essentially canceling court until June 1st.
Okay.
On a very limited basis, the courts are hearing things. They're hearing custody matters for people who are incarcerated.
Okay.
And they are hearing domestic violence protective orders. So if someone is granted the initial 10-day ex parte, which is a relief order, which is saying this is the stay away order, so no contact order.
Okay.
The judges are hearing the returns on those. So they're hearing the returns on those 10-day orders. And that's one of the very few limited things that they are hearing. They're also hearing a few juvenile matters, which are statutorily mandated.
Right.
They're doing things to protect constitutional rights, but other than that, very, very little. And so it's difficult. I have clients right now I'm praying for because they need to get their cases into court. They need some movement, and we just can't do that until the courts reopen regular hearings. And we can schedule them for June, but obviously the uncertainty that is surrounding so many other areas of normal life is also affecting the court systems. The clerks of court right now, I can file things. Like I can file cases, custody, child support. We can file divorces, but unfortunately our ability to bring those to finality is limited. So our clerk of courts have been doing a wonderful job here in Davie, Ellen Drexler, in Davidson County, Sandy Chapel.
Okay.
They're working with limited staff and limited hours, but they are still open so that we can get things filed, so that we can move them along once the courts reopen.
Okay.
So we're able to still file things.
Okay. So are you all working in the office right now, or?
We are very fortunate. We're essential.
Okay.
And as attorneys and as part of being the legal system. So we are open. We're trying to observe the appropriate distancing. We're having one client at a time in our office, and our staff are observing the protocols with hand washing, sanitizing the office, all the things to keep our clients safe. But we are still seeing people. Okay. And I think the attorneys in town are also seeing people, at least on a limited basis.
Right. Okay. Do you, and this, I don't know, this may be a question you're not really able to answer, but I mean, do you feel pretty confident that court will resume June 1st, or have you gotten any inclination on that, or is that something you just would rather not answer?
I think that the Chief Justice pushed that deadline out far enough. And I think that we should. With it, obviously any spike is going to be an unforeseen circumstance. Right. So if we have like a really horrible second rebound and we spike again or something crazy like that happens, I don't think we will. But other than that, I definitely think we will open June 1st. I think your judicial officials are just like everybody else, and they worry about kind of what the lack of these hearings will cause, the bottleneck that will result in when we're done. So I think we're working hard to make sure that we can reopen. I'm not sure what the reopen will look like at this point. Yeah. I'm not sure it's going to be limited or gradual or phase in, but I am I'm pretty confident that we're going to have some sort of courts resume starting June.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, even if it looks differently, hopefully at least they can resume in some way. So I'm obviously not an attorney, but I would imagine from both your side and then someone who's waiting for a case they're anxious to see that move. So
absolutely, especially where children are involved, it is great to watch my clients wait for that delayed justice.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been doing everything humanly possible to move cases. Mediations still take place. We're having to alter the way in which we do it. We're doing Zoom mediations
Mm-hmm.
instead of mediations. Just like everybody else, we're trying to be clever and trying to figure out a way to continue to do our jobs.
Right.
But the rules.
Okay. Well, thanks for that explanation there. Okay. Tell us something that the firm offers that maybe clients don't realize, some things that you can provide folks.
What I was saying about domestic violence protective orders. It is possible to have an attorney represent you when you take out one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Lydia does a great job in handling a lot of ours in Davie County.
Okay.
It's possible to have a private attorney come and help you through that process, and we do a lot of that. Unfortunately, sometimes people who don't need to be subject to a domestic violence protective order get one taken out against them.
Mm.
And so we also defend on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Our firm, we're very proud to be associated with the Dragonfly House.
Mm-hmm.
We're their attorney, so obviously we avoid those conflicts, but we're proud to have association with them. Something that expunctions. A lot of people in the public are not aware that if you make a mistake when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
or you get charged with something during a period of your life when you just weren't yourself,
Right.
You have to live with that forever. There are mechanisms within the law that allow certain people under certain conditions to get expungements.
Okay.
It's certainly not broad that it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And those expungements are something that our firm will evaluate for people on a case-by-case basis and to see if they qualify. And it's certainly a lot more people qualify than used to. Anytime something is dismissed, it is generally expungible.
Okay.
Offenses, most offenses that occurred before a certain age, like before a person was young, some of those are expungible as well. So people don't know that you can come in and as you're progressing through life, go back and clean those things up.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I didn't realize that because, people make mistakes. So it's good to know that there's the, and especially for folks who learn from those mistakes. So.
And not everybody's guilty. In our society, sometimes innocent people get charged. And unfortunately, things still show up on your record as dismissed until you get them expunged.
Okay. Okay. Well, thanks for pointing that out. That's good to know. Okay. Got one question that is a little bit more just for fun. So after the stay-at-home order is lifted, what is something that you personally are looking forward to being able to do again?
Well, my daughters and I have discussed this a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to do a big home goods run. We're going to go to Home Goods. And then we're probably going to have family dinner at Firebirds. That's one of our very favorite restaurants to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to hit Home Goods and then Firebirds.
Okay. Well, it's funny because as we've all been spending more time at home, I find myself looking around thinking, I'd like to redo that, or I'd like to do that. But the problem is I can't go anywhere to get anything.
Exactly. If I go back to Lowe's to buy any more paint, they're going to be like, lady, I'm trying to be very respectful of social distancing and try not to decorate here.
Yeah. Well, Wendy, I appreciate you joining us today. It's been great talking to you. And I think a lot of the information that you shared, it was very valuable. So we appreciate that. And we appreciate you being part of DavieLiFE. And hopefully the world will get back to normal shortly.
praying for that, praying for the safety of everybody. And thank you so much for having me on today.
Well, thank you. You have a good day.